It was a rainy Friday night in a small Tennessee town, the kind where the street lights flickered, the neon signs hummed faintly, and folks gathered at local bars to escape their troubles. Inside one such place, Rusty's Bar and Grill, a quiet tension sat in the air, though most ignored it. Until Williams' twins walked in. Marcus and Malcolm Williams, identical twins, both tall, strong, and dark-skinned, had come home after years of serving their country. Marcus was a U.S. Navy SEAL commander, and Malcolm was an Army captain. Both had spent over a decade risking their lives overseas. Yet, back home, their uniforms were replaced by plain clothes, jeans, hoodies, and weary smiles. They weren't there to cause trouble. They just wanted to have a drink, remember their late father, and feel normal again. "Man, this place hasn't changed a bit," Malcolm said, glancing around at the wooden walls and the same old dartboard they'd used as kids. Marcus chuckled softly. "Yeah, except maybe the music's worse." They sat at the counter and ordered 2 beers. The bartender, a young white man, gave them a brief look, but said nothing. The twins talked quietly, reminiscing about their deployments, their scars, and their father's words. "No matter what you do, carry yourself with honor, even when the world won't honor you back." But honor didn't mean much to the 3 off-duty cops sitting a few tables away. One of them, Officer Rick Daly, leaned toward his buddies. "You see those 2? He whispered, nodding at the twins. "Haven't seen him before, dressed like trouble." His partner laughed. "Looks like they wandered in from the wrong part of town." Daly grinned, sipping his beer. "Let's find out." They got up and approached the bar. "Evening, boys," Daly said, fake friendliness dripping from his voice. "You 2 from around here?" Malcolm looked up calmly. "Born and raised. Williams family." Daly squinted. "Williams, huh? Don't remember any Williams who used to hang around here." "That's 'cause we were too busy serving overseas," Marcus said evenly. Daly's grin faltered. "Serving, huh? In what, the kitchen?" His buddies snickered. The bartender shifted uncomfortably. A few patrons looked up but quickly looked away. They'd seen this before. Malcolm's jaw tightened. "You might want to watch your mouth." Daly took a step closer. "Or what? You gonna teach me a lesson, tough guy?" Marcus slowly placed his drink down and met Daly's gaze. "Walk. Hawaii." But Daly didn't. Instead, he placed his hand on his holstered gun. "You threatening an officer?" Marcus blinked. "You're drunk, off-duty, and harassing civilians. Don't make this worse." The bar went quiet. The hum of the jukebox stopped. One of the other cops pulled out his phone. Might as well call for backup. Let's see how they act when real uniforms show up. Within minutes, sirens wailed outside. 2 patrol cars screeched to a stop, and more officers entered the bar. Hands on their guns, eyes sharp. "Hands where I can see them," one shouted. Marcus and Malcolm froze, raising their hands. "Whoa," the bartender shouted. "They didn't do anything." "Quiet," barked the sergeant in charge. "We got a report of an altercation." Daly pointed at the twins. "These 2 were causing trouble, mouthing off, threatening me." "Is that true?" the sergeant asked, glaring at the twins. "No," Marcus said calmly. "We were having a drink. He came to us." "Save it," the sergeant snapped. "IDs. Now." Malcolm's hand trembled slightly as he reached into his pocket. "Easy," he said. "I'm reaching for my wallet. Keep your hands where I can see them." Another cop yelled, stepping forward, weapon halfway drawn. The bar patrons gasped. A woman whispered, "They didn't do anything." Marcus sighed. "You have no idea who you're pointing that gun at." The sergeant sneered. "Oh yeah. Enlighten me." Marcus slowly pulled out his leather ID case and flipped it open. Inside gleamed the gold insignia of a Navy SEAL commander and his identification card. Malcolm followed, showing his Army captain's badge. The sergeant blinked, stunned. "What?" he muttered. Marcus spoke quietly, but his tone was firm. "Commander Marcus Williams, U.S. Navy. Served 15 years. 6 tours. Your man over there decided to pick a fight because of the color of our skin. Malcolm added, Captain Malcolm Williams, U.S. Army. I've buried men for this country, while you threaten me for buying a drink. A heavy silence fell. The officer's faces drained of color. Daly's mouth hung open. Commander, I didn't save it, Marcus said coldly. You were ready to draw on unarmed citizens. You think that's how heroes act? The sergeant swallowed hard. Sir, if you want to file a complaint. Oh, there'll be a report, Marcus said, but not the kind you're used to. You'll be hearing from the Department of Defense and Internal Affairs. The bar was dead silent. One of the older patrons, a war veteran himself, stood up and saluted quietly. Thank you, sons, he said softly. Marcus nodded, his expression pained. We didn't come here for this. We came home. They left the bar in silence, the night air thick and heavy. Outside, the rain had stopped, but the world still felt cold. Malcolm looked at his brother. You think they'll ever see us for who we really are? He asked quietly. Marcus looked up at the stars, breaking through the clouds. Doesn't matter what they see, Mal. What matters is we don't forget who we are. He paused, his eyes distant. We fight wars overseas to protect people like them. But sometimes, the hardest war is the one we fight right here. Malcolm nodded. You think Dad would have been proud? Marcus smiled faintly. He'd say, we handled it with honor, just like he taught us. They walked home side by side, 2 men who had faced bombs, bullets, and blood, yet tonight they defaced something more painful. The reminder that even heroes aren't always recognized in the country they served. That night, Marcus sat alone on the porch, staring at the flag fluttering in the dark. He thought about all the medals he'd earned, all the men he'd saved, and all the times he'd been saluted overseas. Yet back home, he was just another black man to be feared. Tears welled in his eyes, but he wiped them away, because no matter how the world treated them, he knew who he was. A soldier, a brother, a protector. And as the first light of dawn touched the hills, Marcus whispered softly, almost to himself, one day, they'll learn that respect isn't about color, it's about character.